probably clicked on this video because you've been in that situation. Well, as an established concept artist, I'm here to tell you there's probably gonna be more of that. But I'm here to make your life a little bit easier. So, here's my guide to becoming a concept artist. But make it cinematic. When I first began telling people I wanted to be an artist, most of the time it was associated with art scene and galleries. You know, the realistic looking ones. This style, however, never seemed to attract me. Instead, I found joy in converting imaginary stories into a visual format, which is what led me to, you guessed it, concept art. In simple terms, concept art is practically convert a written or spoken idea for a game or animation into a visual format. This is usually done within the first few months of a project to help conceptualize how characters, environments, and objects will look like. You might be asking yourself, but how do I become one? Well, this leads me to my next part. This all begins at a young age when we all learn about basic shapes. Never in a million years would I have expected that was how most of my pieces would start, with a series of cubes and spheres. To draw, one doesn't need an education, but to master it requires time and patience that can be developed through studying. My path to mastery began with Valencia College. Their tuition was much more affordable than attending full-time at an art school. Because my tuition costs were around $17.50, both my Pell and Florida Student Assist grants could cover the cost and allow me to attend school at no extra charge. Throughout my time there, I was able to take advantage of the numerous art books available at the library while still being able to learn concepts I had never heard of within my art classes. One class that stuck with me though was the new student experience course, as it helped me come to terms with what my purpose is, which I will get to later on in the video. Valencia College wasn't my end goal though, as later on I transferred to UCF and earned a Bachelor of Art within the studio track. This time though, tuition was a little on the higher side, $13,477 to be exact. Thankfully, my financial aid covered a portion of it while I covered the rest of the cost with my online store and part-time job. As my time in school came to an end, soon came the next step. Before diving into finding a job as a concept artist, I cannot stress enough how much developing a portfolio will help you in getting hired. The more research you do about a company's specific art style and skill sets required, the higher the chances that said company will want you to become part of their team. Some basics all gaming or animation companies look for in concept artists are the ability to draw, showing proficiency when working with computers, and an overall creative eye for making their ideas into a reality. Once you've developed these, your first step to gaining a full-time job within the industry is to get an internship. For example, one company whose designs called to me was Riot Games, who thankfully allowed me to join their team as an intern and later as a full-time concept artist. During my time there, my starting yearly was about $71,000, but this number may differ from company to company based on whether or not they are well-known or independent studios. But to find your spot within the industry, you need an undying love for the profession by finding your purpose is something that can take years to develop. It can be influenced by the media that you see, the actions you take, or simply a personal experience that stuck with you. For me, it spiraled from music. Each time I would hear specific sounds and songs, images and stories would begin flourishing in my head. And each time I'd grab my sketchbook, pencil, and eraser to get to drawing. And so, my love for admiring and creating art started to become my lifelong meaning. The thing is, I couldn't quite put it into words, and that's when my new student experience class came to the rescue. It introduced me to the Clifton Strengths Assessment, which allowed me to view the themes I excelled in, my top two being restorative and intellect. Once I began seeing how much I enjoyed solving problems and thinking outside of the box, it led me to a wonderful conclusion. My purpose was to develop art styles pleasing to the eye, which would help develop ideas out of this world into a watchable or playable screen in the art world. Whew. Now that was a lot to take in. Hopefully that made things a little bit easier to understand. And if anything, I've put timestamps in the description below for any topics you'd like to look back on. If you'd like to learn more about concept art, some fellow YouTube channels I recommend are Franco and Jackie Druchko. Toodaloo, my fellow viewers, and we will see you back in the next video.